7.
Okay, guys, I don't want to alarm you, but I think we might have a fight on this list that doesn't involve Son Goku in any way, shape, or form.
What? But this is Dragon Ball! Surely if he isn't the one throwing the punches, he must be on his way. Piccolo's just holding off the bad guys till he gets here.
Yeah, no, he's at the lookout and apparently has no intention of getting involved.
You heard it here, folks. This part of the countdown just became a no Goku zone.
With Cell busy with his Suck Everything Dry tour and all the Earthbound Saiyans focused on working out, the recently Kami-infused Piccolo has taken it upon himself to shut down the Robo-Twins and their red-headed stepbrother.
Yeah, I guess their shoplifting and van-stealing antics have gone a little too far. Guess the former Guardian has to step in and put these rowdy teenagers in a well-deserved timeout.
They literally showed up at Kame House looking for a fight. Even if it was clear by this point that the numbered androids weren't the main threat, they're still very capable of apocalyptic levels of destruction.
On top of that, there's a 7-foot-tall Bugman looking to consume them. It's probably for the best that the group just get these pieces off the table while they can.
Fair point. We see Piccolo beefing himself up for the fight, and right away we see some heavy hits from our resident Super Namekian. The previously untouchable Android 17 finds himself on the receiving end of some earth-shattering blows and realizes he might actually need to try this time.
After a couple deflected blasts, we get to see what might be my favorite move in the entire show, and the part most people remember from this fight, the Hellzone Grenade! The light shifts and drenches the scene in yellow and purple as Piccolo launches a flurry of blasts towards the snarky teen. After a quick moment of terrified realization, the blasts converge on Android 17 and erupt in a huge explosion! Even if it's ultimately fruitless, it's still such a cool technique that we sadly never really get to see again.
Our raven-haired antagonist avoids defeat thanks to his signature energy barrier and continues the fight with an onslaught of high-speed punches and kicks.
Even if the art in this segment isn't the most consistent, I love how frenetic and over-the-top it gets. The cartoonishly emphasized punches stretching through their targets' backs, volcanoes erupting, and the whole island's being demolished as the battle rages on gives you a really good sense of just how powerful these guys are.
All the while, we catch glimpses of Cell getting closer and closer to the battlefield. While the fight loudly revels in how insane it can get, most of the cutaways are dedicated to showing the real monster cryptically approaching.
Eschewing more flashy techniques, the battle becomes a knockdown, drag-out brawl between Green Man and Boybot, and it's one of the most satisfying and brutal exchanges of blows we see in the entire franchise. Despite how short this fight actually is, the last desperate struggle truly emphasizes how worn down both sides have become, which makes the next reveal all the more dreadful.
As it turns out, Piccolo's enormous power level acted like a beacon for Cell, who just finished chowing down in a city full of people and is looking at his siblings for a dessert. Guess we'll have to call this fight a draw because this big cockroach doesn't plan on waiting.
It's a shame that this is one of Piccolo's last real fights in DBZ, but it's a strong one to go out on. It might be somewhat short and really doesn't have that big of an impact on the story, but just about every second of it is exciting and has something fun to offer.
It's also unfortunate that 17 doesn't really get much of a chance to show off his moves before or after this battle until Super, but he's honestly kind of lucky he got one at all considering how quickly Cell gets involved.
Excuse me, Kaiser, but aren't we forgetting about GT and Super 17?
Oh, Cranthony, no amount of alcohol has helped me do so yet. Honestly, they're just not good fights.
Do you think Super 17 could beat up 17 from Super?
Oh, hold on, so you're saying Super 17 doesn't make this list at all? What's next? You'll tell me there aren't any GT fights on this list?
Yeah, who knows? It's just number 7. I mean, just give it a couple more entries. I'm sure we're saving the best for last.
Oh my god, there aren't any GT fights on this list.